What's up, folks? It's Dr. Remy LeBeau, and I'm coming at you once again from the X-Lair to provide you my very deep and insightful reaction to the new trailer for Deadpool 2. The new trailer for Deadpool 2 has dropped today. I have not seen it yet. I've been waiting all day to do this trailer reaction, so I have managed to keep myself from it, knowing that it exists in the world, knowing that there is a representation of Cable out in the world in live action. Something I've been waiting for probably 20 years. And somehow, by the power of Ensabanur, I have managed to stay away from it because I wanted to provide a very genuine reaction to it. So as all of you know, Deadpool 1 came out a few years ago now, and it totally took the world by surprise. It was a huge success. It could be made an argument that it saved the X-Men franchise. Like, it made the X-Men franchise once again like a blockbuster status, whereas actually prior to that we had X-Men Days of Future Past, and that did really well, and that sort of improved the trajectory of the series, but still people were a little bit wary about where it could possibly go. And then they took a big risk with Deadpool, and they did a rated R version. They didn't spend a lot of money on it, and everybody loved it, right? We all loved it. It was fantastic. It was exactly what we wanted it to be. And because of it, it started to create that positive momentum once again about the entire franchise and where it could possibly go. Of course, the fact that there was a complete different representation of Colossus in Deadpool versus the proper X-Men films was a problem for me, even though the representation of Colossus was fucking amazing in Deadpool 1 and better than any that we've seen prior in any of the X-Men films. Still, it just sent the wrong signal in terms of like the studio being consistent across all their films within the same universe, and likely their inability to ever be able to accomplish that. And that, for me, has always been a problem. Even though, again, I love Deadpool and I love Colossus, the interconnectivity of the films doesn't really mesh. Subsequent to that, we had Logan come out, which was fucking amazing as well. Another R-rated film, definitely inspired by the success of the R rating of Deadpool. That was also amazing. But following that, we got Apocalypse, which wasn't a huge hit financially, with fans, with critics. I liked it. I liked the film. I watched it recently. I really enjoy watching it, but definitely the representation of Apocalypse, the representation of Archangel, Psylocke, all very lacking, all still kind of reflective of like the creative teams behind these films, like not really understanding like how reverent we need to be in our representation of these characters, because all of them have like, decades of story behind them, and you can't simply like turn a character that has that kind of pedigree into like a hench person that barely talks. Like, you can't do that. And you can't just kill off Archangel, things like that. Like, I really understand why that film really resonates poorly now, a couple of years later, X-Men Apocalypse, and left a bit of a sour taste in all of our mouths. But still, given the success of Deadpool and Logan, like, it's clear that like the studio can potentially do something good with the franchise. And so, again, we're all, at least myself, and I know a lot of fans, are torn about whether or not Fox is even able to accomplish like a solid positive track record moving forward. So even though Deadpool 2 is likely going to be good because it's Deadpool, because it's Ryan Reynolds, it's the same writers, we know that behind the scenes, like, there were issues with Tim Miller, the director from the first one, and so he left. And so they brought in one of the directors of John Wick, who directed Atomic Blonde, which I haven't seen, but we hear mixed reviews on. Is that director going to be able to pull this movie off in the same way that the first film was pulled off, where it's consistent with the tone, it's consistent with the quality of everything that was shown, and ultimately as entertaining? Questionable, up in the air. Will this film succeed? I don't know. We'll see. Beyond that, we have X-Men Dark Phoenix coming out. Simon Kinberg, a producer of the franchise, writer of some of the bad films, producer of Fantastic Four, writer of that one, the recent Josh Trank disaster, is directing this film. I don't know how that's going to go. We don't know. So Fox is constantly in that space of like uncertainty. We don't know what they're going to do, as opposed to Marvel, where it's very clear. They know exactly what they're doing with all their characters. They know exactly how to make good films out of characters within the Marvel universe. And so if you watch my video of my reaction to the news that Fox was being sold to Disney, like, I'm ecstatic about it, because I know that once Marvel proper gets a hold of all of these characters, they're going to do them right. They're going to do what we've always wanted them to do, which is like represent them accurately, like Deadpool was represented in his film, but consistently across the films. Like, it'll all connect and it'll all feel unified, but still each film, each individual character, each different team will have their own flavor, will have their own set of circumstances, even cinematic sort of tropes that'll define their world in contrast to like other teams. So X-Men will feel different than Avengers, but they'll all exist within the Marvel universe. I'm cool with that. I want that to be the case. I'm a lifelong Marvel fan, and that's what I want. Anyway, that's my little sort of summary of like how everything has gone up until this point, the significance of this point, and so now it is time to finally watch this fucking trailer and just hopefully be delighted by it. So let's see, we're finally going to get Cable. That's the thing that excites me the most. Cable. Fucking Cable. I got Cable right back here. He's over here. Beautiful statue by the Kucharek brothers, produced by Bone Designs. That one, there were only 250 of those made, very rare and fucking awesome. Can I pick it up? Yes, I can pick it up. Let's pick it up. All right. Let's do a little... All right, here we go. Look at this. Look at this beauty. Look at this! Look at this! This is fucking awesome. I fucking love this thing so much. All right, Cable. Let's go. We're about to watch this fucking trailer. Oh, yeah, baby! Marvel, what's up? Cable's eye.
Born into war. Bred into it. People think they understand pain, but they have no concept of it.
Wow.
What's the most pain you've ever felt?
What's the most pain you've ever felt?
Maybe the kind that leaves you more machine than man.
Wait, no, stop! What in the actual ass? Dale, why are the visual effects not done? It's a metal arm. It's not like we're trying to remove a mustache. Fuck it, I'll do it myself.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I love that. I love that.
I'm Cable. I'm from the future. I like blowing shit up.
Pew, pew, pew. Reach for the sky!
Oh no, Sheriff Deadpool.
You know, you're a lot taller in the...
Shut up, you little asshole. Take this.
That's you, Daddy.
That's not something you say.
Zip it, Cable.
I got the sons to help you.
This is great.
No biting. They're done already? Oh, wow, that was unrealistically fast. Okay, hit it.
Yes. Cable. All right. Yes. Fuck yes. 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 Yeah. Fuck yes. Where's Colossus? Come on. Yes. Fucking Cable. Domino. Fuck yes.
Your time's up, you dumb fuck.
Well, that's just lazy writing.
Alrighty then. Well, that was certainly a trailer. That was certainly a trailer. Oh boy, Cable, you're finally in the film. You're finally in a film. Congratulations, man. Thanks, man. It's been too long. I deserved to be in a film a long time ago, but those assholes over at Fox kept ignoring me because they thought that I wasn't a badass. Well, this is what I have to say about me not being a badass. Pachoo, bitch! Pachow, 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 pachow. Pew, 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 pew. That's Cable destroying Fox Studios. Yeah, folks. Let me put this guy back. I don't want to hurt him. It's expensive. It goes over $1,000 right now. on eBay. So if you want to get them, you're not going to be able to get them because it's like over $1,000 unless you're willing to pay over $1,000. But then even if you're willing to pay over $1,000 for it, it's rare to find one actually going up for sale. So I'm sorry, folks, but there's other cool stuff. Rob Liefeld recently tweeted about new Cable action figures that are being released, which look really fucking cool and are based on some of his artwork from the earlier X-Force issues. So check those out. Anyway, alrighty. Dude, it was so cool seeing Cable. It was just so satisfying. And like his sort of dystopic world, like where is it? Like is it in that future where Apocalypse is taking over? Are we going to see like a comic accurate Apocalypse and sort of redeem the franchise for the terrible representation of Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse? Possible, right? Because bottom line, like Cable and Apocalypse are inextricably linked, right? Like the reason why Cable was taken into the future was because Apocalypse infected him with the techno-organic virus, right? And that's what started turning his arm into metal and like half of his face and all that. That's why he's got these bionic parts, because he had this techno-organic virus that was turning him into a machine. It's turning him into essentially like this robot. Why? Because Apocalypse knew he was going to be a threat to him in the future and he wanted to take him out as a baby. But anyway, there's a lot of story there. If you don't know the story of Cable, like fucking go on Wikipedia and read that shit. It's very clear and convoluted, but it's very fun. It's fun to kind of explore that whole mythology. So therefore the question is like, where is Cable in the future? I thought the trailer did a really good job of kind of presenting the seriousness of it within the context of like the ridiculous world that is Deadpool's world, right? Like you had a very serious first few scenes in the future, introducing Cable, kind of telling a story, and then bam, you got that shot of the green sleeve arm, which is like obviously the what they use to be able to create the effect on his arm, right? They put a green sleeve on it, and then that's easy for them to take that out of every frame and then put the actual metal arm into it. So the fact that they showed that and they had like Deadpool like commenting on it and like it was a big gag, it was perfect. It was like the perfect bridge of the seriousness of Cable's story to the ridiculous nature of the Deadpool story. And then this whole fucking sequence of Deadpool playing with action figures of Cable destroying a fake kind of cardboard city was perfect. Like it was very consistent with what I expect from a Deadpool film at this point. And I enjoyed it. And then everything else, we saw shots of like the entire gang together, basically X-Force, or like, you know, like the early sort of seeds of what is likely to become X-Force. You had Domino in there, which I love. I love how they're representing Domino in this. You had Negasonic Teenage Warhead. You had I didn't see Colossus, but I hope Colossus is in there somewhere. And of course, everyone else that you would expect, all the supporting characters, Vanessa, his girl, Deadpool's girl, a lot of shots of that stuff, but like but the trailer did a good job of like not giving away too much. Just like bam, 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 just kind of a staccato sequence of images that kind of imply that there's a lot of in this movie what you want from it. But ultimately, what's most important is that Deadpool maintains the character, the character that was established in the first film, the character that we know Deadpool to be, the slapstick kind of witty, kind of breaking the fourth wall jester, who's also a badass. He's a mercenary. He's a killer, and so all of that was maintained. Now, some people may have had like ambivalent feelings about the opening to the Logan film. There was that sequence with Deadpool, right? Like there was that brief kind of sequence where he was like in a phone booth and he was taking forever to change and he was going to save somebody, but he wound up being too late because it took him forever to change. That was hilarious. I thought it was funny. I thought it was consistent with what we'd seen in the earlier film, and so I thought that bode well for what we're going to see in this actual film. And this trailer also bodes well for what we're going to see in the actual film. So I'm very positive about what's coming with respect to this film. I think it's going to be funny. I think it's going to be great. I think the representation of Cable is finally going to be what we needed it to be after all these years of waiting. And Yeah, I'm excited, man. I love this fucking trailer. I love this. I want more of it. Give it to me. I guarantee you I will not be this excited after I see the Dark Phoenix trailer. And that might be a self-fulfilling prophecy, but like I am not going to get excited about this. I got excited about Dark Phoenix back in fucking, what was it, early 2000s when we saw that Firebird under the water at the end of X2 and I was like, damn, they're doing the Dark Phoenix. This is going to be epic. And then we saw fucking X3 and it was horrible. It was atrocious. It's just a disaster of a film. The way they represented fucking Phoenix was criminal. Criminal. Somebody should have gone to prison for it. There should be warrants out. I'm going to have to talk to my lawyer. But, like, so there's no way I'm going to get excited about that. This, I can get excited about. And I know people are kind of worried, well, you know, Disney's going to do this, that, or the other when, you know, they take over and that's going to be bad for the franchise. It's not going to be bad for the franchise. It's going to be great for the franchise. If they end up rebooting all of it, including Deadpool, so be it. Let them start over. Let them start from scratch. They're going to do the universe right, the X universe right. They're going to do it right, and all of us fans are going to be happy. And that is it. That is the end of the story. There's nothing else to be said there. Like, we should not doubt that Disney can pull it off. We should very much doubt that Fox can pull off good films all the time. Even with this good trailer, even with that great clip that we saw before Logan, even with Deadpool. Like, even though these films exist and they're good and they were produced by Fox, we know that Fox has a track record of doing the wrong thing. And so I cannot in any way be optimistic about X-Men Dark Phoenix, and I cannot say for certain that this movie, Deadpool 2, is actually going to be good. But hopefully it will. I'm going to be optimistic about it. The point is of this video that I enjoyed the trailer. It was fun, and again, it implies that the film is going to be good, and I believe it. I believe it will be. I believe it will be. Again, it is a wild card. Not as wild as Dark Phoenix. Certainly a wild card though. But nonetheless, life has to get a little wild sometimes, because if it doesn't, it's just boring. Alright folks, I want to remind you that if you haven't already, you should subscribe to my channel by just clicking on that little button down there right there. Just right under the screen, just press it. You're subscribed. You will forever be linked to me in a transcendental bond that will be unbreakable by space nor time. And so congratulations if you just subscribed. And if you like the video, make sure you click on the like so that people, I don't know, are able to know that people like the video. And as always, I want to remind you that if you haven't already, you better put an X in that box, ladies and gentlemen, because ain't nobody checking me. Take care. Bye-bye.